Hello, you're through to the complaints team. How can I help?
Hello? I'd like to make a complaint about how my father, Edward Smith, was sent home from hospital.
I'm sorry to hear that. Would you like to tell me what happened?
My dad's 82 and he lives with my mum and she's not very well either. He was discharged home at 9 o'clock at night in a taxi. There's a whole load of things gone wrong I'm going to tell you about. My mum wasn't expecting him and neither was I. Nobody told me he was coming home and I'm listed down as his next of kin. Well, Mum was in a real fright, and when he came, they'd sent him home in the rain in his pyjamas and slippers. And she was so upset, and so was he. And he was confused. He'd missed his tea, and he hadn't had anything since lunchtime. He hadn't had any food at all, and he's diabetic, and that's really dangerous. And then he started shouting at my mum, and she was really upset, and they didn't know what to do. So I had to go 25 miles in the car to come and sort everything out. And another thing, my dad was in quite a lot of pain. He didn't have any medication when he came home. He had nothing to take. And we had to ring the doctor in the morning to get an appointment for him. The doctor didn't even know that he'd been in hospital for 3 weeks because he went in as emergency and nobody actually told him. So he had to ring the hospital to find out what had actually been going on.
Oh dear, I'm sorry.
Well, and yes, and then now Dad's incontinent of urine now as well. And he was using pads in hospital, and guess what? They didn't send any pads home with him. He had to get into bed that night with a towel so that he didn't wet the sheets. I mean, how degrading is that?
Oh, it sounds like it's been a really difficult time for all of you.
It has. I don't know why this has happened, and I want to know why this has happened and what you're going to do about it. I mean, it's disgusting to treat anybody this way, let alone a frail 82-year-old man. I've been to see my MP about this and the CQC, and I'm even thinking about going to the newspapers. My dad was in hospital for 3 weeks after his fall. You've had plenty of time to prepare for his discharge and make sure he's home safely with everything he needs. I just think this is disgusting. I mean, why does this sort of thing happen? I just don't want anything to happen to anybody else like this.
I'm sorry, I don't know why this has happened. What needs to happen is the trust needs to conduct an investigation to try and find out what's happened and why this took place. So what I've been doing, when I've been talking to you, I've written down some notes, and it would be really, really helpful if you could put everything in writing for us, and if you can give us as much detail as possible about what you're concerned about, and that way we'll be able to answer your questions and concerns as fully as possible. What we will also need, Mrs. Brown, is your dad's consent so that we know that he's happy for us to look into this.
My father will be very pleased to know that this is going to be looked at. He's so upset by this whole thing. In fact, we all are. We just feel completely let down. Honestly, I mean, I don't know why this has happened. And is it going to have to happen to somebody else again before something gets done? Honestly, I mean, this is just unacceptable.
Okay, Mrs. Brown, well, thank you very much for ringing, and we'll do what we can to help.
Yes, all right. Okay.
Okay, bye-bye for now.
All right, thank you. Goodbye.